going to take a quick look at the guided reading resources from Scholastic's Literacy Place and Moving Up collection. Using Simon Sinek's Golden Circle model, we'll begin by considering why guided reading is an impactful practice for reading instruction. From here, we'll take a look at how guided reading supports students through the lens of the RVS literacy framework and where it might live in the context of a literacy classroom. Finally, we'll look at what resources are available for instruction during guided reading. Let's get started. Guided reading provides opportunities for teachers and students to work side by side to support the development of skills and strategies for decoding words, for reading accuracy and monitoring, as well as to begin to develop comprehension strategies in the context of rich texts and a variety of texts. It's an opportunity for teachers to be able to adjust students as they're reading and to coach them through difficult areas, as well as to gather data for their own assessment on areas to target further in their instruction. Further, guided reading is another opportunity for that I do component of the gradual release of responsibility, where teachers are able to model reading strategies and to model their thinking as readers for the students in their groups. This also gives an opportunity for students to then take those modeled strategies and modeled thinking and demonstrate it back to the teacher in that supported we do setting. When planning for guided reading within your literacy block, it's important to consider the number of groups that you'll be working with and how often you'll meet with each group. You may not need to meet with every group the same number of times in a week, as some students will benefit from more frequent meetings with you at the guided reading table. Of course, you won't be able to meet with all students at once during your guided reading time. And so it's also important to think about what the other students will be doing while you're reading with your small groups. Taking time at the beginning of the year or when you decide to approach guided reading as a practice to develop strong routines with your students for independent practice of reading, writing, or other word work activities will be highly beneficial to allow you to have that time and space that you need with your students during guided reading. As you begin to consider how you'll form your groups for guided reading and what instructional targets you'll focus on during your time together, assessment data will become a key component of that decision-making process. It will help to ensure that this time is highly impactful and that it is focused on things that your students really need to help them in their reading. The Systems of Strategic Action Wheel from Fontes and Pinnell is a great resource to refer to when determining instructional targets for your readers. There are several titles available at each reading level and 6 copies of each, along with a lesson plan. The guided reading collections at each reading level have titles from across various interests and genres that are sure to engage your students during guided reading time. The lesson plans include opportunities to focus on text features and author's craft, as well as comprehension strategies for before, during, and after reading. There are opportunities for students to work within the text and for word work around vocabulary and spelling, as well as opportunities for assessment. And that is just a quick peek at these guided reading resources from Scholastic. Be sure to check out our other videos around Scholastic's Literacy Place, Moving Up, and Stepping Up collections and how they can be utilized for reading instruction.